made 11 YouTube videos in 3 days, which is absolutely wild. And I wanted to share with you all of the things that I learned so that you can learn from them and hopefully not make the mistakes that I've been making. One of the things that I learned really, really early on, coming back to making my videos, is that sound quality absolutely matters. My original setup, which was set up in the study, it was fine because I could use my iPhone camera, I could use I think I had my web camera as well. I could just use lots of different things and it didn't really matter because I was sitting in sort of like a home studio and the sound quality would just be picked up by the things that I had. So I was sitting quite close to everything. But with my new style of videos that I wanted to do things in the car, I wanted to do things in different parts of the house, I wanted to go outside, I wanted to take you guys with me and show you around my lifestyle. I couldn't really do that with the Temu microphone that I bought. And there's nothing wrong with Temu microphones or anything like that because you got to start somewhere, right? But if you want to make better quality videos, I think that you definitely need better sound, because one of the videos that I made was in the car and the sound just did not hold up, and I had to do a lot of I had to do a lot of editing after the video just to save some of the sound. It had a receiver, it had a little fluffy thing. I was like, oh yeah, it's going to work fine, but it just doesn't work exactly the same as a good quality microphone. So I did a little digging and what was available to me, and I got the DJI, you can see it here, the DJI mini thing. It actually came with two, and I quite like technology where you can literally just set it up and use it. I know that these days there's like so much fancy stuff that you can use, but I'm all about the really good content rather than spending 5 hours learning just how to put the microphone settings correctly. I just want to plug it in, I want to use it, and I want it to work, and I want it to be great, which so far, this is what I found with this microphone. When you're making your videos, just press record. You need to get comfortable in front of the camera. Your content will be good, whatever you put out. There is no bad content, because when you put out a video and you look back on it and you're like, oh, that was terrible, that is a learning lesson. So that's not bad content. And you probably would have reached at least one person. So even if you think your content is a bit rusty or a little bit bad, just keep creating, just press record and get really, really good at making the content. Because when you start getting way more comfortable in front of the camera, like I'm starting to feel, I feel like the content gets really good because it literally comes from inside your brain, your experiences, how you package things, how you say things. And if you don't press record and you just try and manufacture, I guess, your stories or the way you're doing things, I don't think it comes across as natural, and it just doesn't work for when you're creating your content and how much content you have to create and when you want to scale things and make things bigger. So don't be afraid to just set up that tripod, press record, and just see what happens. And this leads me into my next point, which is that your workflow matters. Now, what I mean by workflow is when you hit record, what your setup is like, what your sound is like, but also how you're getting your videos into your computer and then how are you editing them. So depending on what kind of videos you're doing, like let's say you're doing your videos for your digital products and you're teaching people how to use them. Are you recording the screen? Are you in a studio, like a beauty studio? Or what is the workflow that you need to do? With mine, I have two different types that I'm doing at the moment. I'm doing these types of videos, which is basically sharing with my experiences so you guys can learn from everything that I do, and I'm also doing it in real time. The same goes for my how-to videos. I do that in real time. So I'm learning something or I've learned something and I am teaching that and I'm showing you guys on my laptop, and the workflow that I have, you'll probably see in some of my other videos because I do a bit of a breakdown on how I edit and how it all gets in there. It's really important that it flows. Because when I've created all of these videos, that's what I learned the most, was that your workflow is super important, because the better you can get your workflow, the more comfortable you are in front of the camera, the more comfortable you are with content, the better it comes out and the more you can actually do. And of course, it just needs to be fun. You've got to have fun with your content. I think that too many people take stuff so seriously these days, and how are you supposed to do this full time or for a long time if you're sitting there like a robot going, here are 5 ways to sell your digital products? Nobody wants to watch that anymore. We want some personality. I mean, that's what I want anyway. I want to feel like I know you. I want to feel like you're my best friend who's telling me these secrets, who's telling me these things that you've learned so that I can learn them too, so we can like grow together or whatever it is. But having fun with your content is super important. And that leads me to my next point, is that talk to your subscribers like they're your best friends. And I know that kind of seems really weird and a little bit hard, because you're like, how am I supposed to do that when I'm talking to a friggin' camera? Well, that's where I think your workflow comes into it, your environment comes into it. I don't know if you've seen this guy recently on Instagram. I can't remember what his first name is, but it's something Massarelli or something like that. Anyway, he's like a salesman. He's doing phone calls and he's selling insurance. And that is one of the hardest jobs, I think, being a salesperson like that. Anyway, before he jumps on the calls, he's listening to this like gangster-ass music. He's like hyping himself up. And then when the person answers the phone, he like stops the music and he gets into his flow. So that's like hyping him up. So he is making his environment really, really good. So when you're talking to your best friend through the camera, if you have to do something really weird, like put a picture up behind your camera of your best friend, or go out and have some social time and then come back and make your videos, anything like that, to basically make your environment so good that you already feel like you're talking to a best friend and not a camera. Because when you talk to your best friend, like I'm talking to you right now, the content is so good. The videos come out, your personality comes out, and it's just way better. Remember that you are the expert. You're the one creating the video. This is your domain. So even though you may not feel like it at the time, you are definitely the expert. You're the one who's got the knowledge. You're the one that's taking them on this journey through this video. And you just have to be empowered and you just know that you are the expert. Because the thing is that somebody has come to your video or somebody has come to your content for you to teach them something. And the video is already there in the title with what you're going to teach them or what they're going to learn from you. And that's just basically all you have to deliver. So even if you feel like you're not the expert in your top field or anything like that, you are the expert in the video. And not all videos are going to go viral, and that's okay. So even if you get under 1,000 views, that's still quite a lot of people. I don't know if you can imagine having 1,000 people in your room right now, but I couldn't fit 1,000 people in I wouldn't want to fit 1,000 people in my kitchen. I don't know how that would work. But if you just get a little bit of perspective of things, like not all videos are going to go viral, and that's actually okay, because when you are creating your content and you're creating your videos, it compounds your knowledge, your personality, how you come across in your videos. They all go together. Remember, they're not all just singular videos. If you've got 100 videos and you've got one viral one, and then you have all these other videos which are really like specific to something, like they're like how to, build a house, but then the other ones are just even more specific, and maybe like the audience is quite small, but it's really targeted, that's still okay. Like you don't need videos to go and have 500,000 views or anything like that. And if you're worried about not getting massive views or anything like that on your videos, all you need to do is look at your data. And that's exactly what I do. Every time I upload a video, every time I create something, every time I do something with my digital products, I'm always relying on the data, because the data cannot lie, and you can make really good assumptions and decisions about what you're doing or what your next move is or what's happened or your overall plan based on numbers and data. So that's what I've learned so far, making 11 YouTube videos in 3 days. I'm sure there's going to be some more stuff that I learn along the way. If you have found this video helpful, which I'm sure you have, because I wish I'd had a video like this when somebody was talking to me, make sure you stick around and watch the next video, because that's going to help you level up even further.